Hey, everyone, and welcome to Signals from the Frontline, your every Wednesday live broadcast brought to you by Frontline Gaming. We're your hosts, Kicker, the chief of cereal and FLG insider, Shelby, the hobby guru and most scatterbrained player in 40K, and Seth, the Mad Duck, your competitive correspondent. What has everyone been up to? It feels like a while since the three of us have been together.
Guys, we are back in black with our fancy shirts. I've missed you guys so much. It has been crazy. I've been focused on survival. Just survival. I got hit hard.
Survival.
the hurricane.
You were hit by a hurricane.
Yeah, just a small category 4.
You had to waste a bunch of food and stuff.
It's
I'm
okay.
so sorry, Kicker.
It's okay. I survived. My house survived. I'm back at my house for the second night in a long time, so it's good to be home. And I started painting some orcs, which is really exciting. Woohoo! Yeah.
I really like the color scheme you went with.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going
yellow and white.
Well, like I know everyone talks about the grim dark, but I want my orcs to be kind of bright and fun, So yeah.
My orcs are very, very high contrast. Lots of bright colors.
Oh, nice. Shelby, what have you been up to? I know you were having some fun.
Yeah, so this past weekend I went to Dragon Con. It was super, super awesome. I got a little bit panicked last week, so Wednesday I felt kind of like garbage, and I was like, oh my god, I swear, if I got COVID right before Dragon Con, I'm going to lose my mind. And so I went and got like 2 tests just to be sure. Just because it's one thing to bring that to a convention. It's another to bring it to a group of people you're staying with over the weekend. So I just doubled down just to be sure. And it was freaking awesome. I have not had that much fun in a very, very long time.
Except for every other Wednesday when you record with us.
Yeah. Totally compares. Totally.
Yeah.
Compares. But other than that, just went back to teaching. Going back to normal life was weird. And trying to brainstorm some Necrons lists for a month from now, where we will, fingers crossed, be heading to New Orleans for our tournament. What about you, Seth?
Well, I've also I was gone last week. I was at a work conference doing real life things. Not that this isn't real life. It's okay, everyone. But sometimes my job actually
fantasy.
Yeah.
Get your priorities in order.
Caught in
until this pays, I got to do the day job. So sorry. But I've been tinkering with a lot of orc lists, trying to figure out what I want to take to the GW event, and I think I found one. I'm not ready to reveal it to the world just yet.
Right, come on, give us like a sneak peek or something. Come on, like what culture? What culture are we going with?
It's Evil Sons and Death Skulls.
All right, cool.
That's what I like. But I've also been working on some more props. I showed you guys the chop on the last show, and this is the point where I cue Richard to show you guys what I've been working on.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Fire away. Ooh. So, Shelby, you have a fusion pistol. And Kicker, you have your bolt pistol.
It's so pretty. Oh my god.
Look at it.
And
I can't wait. Oh, dude, you got
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're done.
That's amazing. Yes.
Oh,
so,
amazing.
my gosh.
Shelby, you can get yours whenever you want. Kicker, I can either ship yours or I can bring it down when I come down to New Orleans.
You could. I'll take it from you and give you a big hug in return, dude. That is amazing. For those of our listeners that are listening to the podcast, not watching, Seth has just announced to us that he has made us some beautiful props. Is that the right word we should be using here?
Yeah.
Replicas of a gorgeous bolt pistol for myself and Shelby. I don't play.
You did say you wanted it to be like standard guardsman, but I had to do a little gold on it because I was like, he's probably like a commissar.
Oh, for sure, Kicker's definitely a commissar. You for real?
All right, I'll take it. Thank you. And Shelby, that's a fusion. Is that a fusion?
It's a fusion pistol.
Oh wow, very cool.
Yeah. So I actually if I could put a costume together for it, I would want to dress as a solitaire, but the solitaire doesn't take a fusion pistol. So accuracy or fun?
I mean, your solitaire could take a fusion pistol. It's a named character solitaire.
Perfect. Excellent.
I mean, I'm going to start working on my commissar outfit immediately. Like, this is going to happen. Like, head to toe. I'm going to get the boots, the hat. Sweet.
That was my slight derailment for the intro to the show, but I finished those last night, and then I was like, "Ooh, I can send Richard those pictures in secret and surprise them on the show." So, Kicker, take us into industry news.
All right, guys. Well, we've been getting the steady drip feed from GW regarding Necromunda and Blood Bowl releases. So I know this is 40K themed primarily, so we're not going to go too in depth there. But it's kind of cool because every time they drop something for Necromunda or Blood Bowl, my mind's like, "How can I convert these into 40K?" And the new like I don't know, Master Blaster, giant guy with a little short dude on top. It's a brand new model that you can go check it out on the community page. But it's like it's got a lot of potential for orcs, maybe for guard. I can see that being used for a lot of different things. And then of course more Age of Sigmar stuff because they're doing the whole big release now. Some guys with great bows. I don't play Age of Sigmar. I don't really know what they do, but they look cool. But that's about it. Nothing too exciting on the new product front. Guys, though, orcs are finally hitting the shelves in mass this weekend. I'm sure you've got your pre-orders in, so I know I've got 5 boxes of Squig Hogs waiting for me on
Jesus.
Saturday. Yeah,
That's what you decided. I love that most people are like, beast snaggers are fine, I guess, but you're just like, let's go.
Let's go 100% all the way in.
I do want to kind of point out an oddity that you're about to end up with, Kicker.
Yeah, shoot.
They packaged the Beast Snagga. You didn't say Squig Hogs, you said Beast Snaggas, but the Squig Hogs, they packaged the 3 guys and the knob in the same box.
Yeah.
So if you want to take like 3 max units, which is 3 units of 6, or you end up with 6 knobs, even though you can only run 3.
Yeah. Oh
you
man.
Can't even make them normal dudes?
Nope, because they're a completely separate kit at a different scale.
And they're a different base too, aren't they? The knobs have a bigger base. So that means conversions galore. I don't know what I'll do, but I will find a use for them.
Can you run those as can you run them by themselves? Like, are they a character, or are they just like kind of
they're an individual character, but because of the separate data sheet, you can only run 3.
So you could just sell those to people who want them.
Exactly. Well, speaking of like weird stuff though that's happened with the orc release, I'm sure you guys have seen the new Start Collecting box, right? It's all push fit and monopose push fit, not too many options, which is weird because normally you would get the options for orc boys to have, shooters or choppas, and now it's kind of like you get a few of each, right, Seth? You've probably looked into
it's if you're a new player, it's not the best because I think it builds like 5 with Slugga Choppas, 3 with Shooters, and then 2 special weapons and a knob.
And you have to build them that way. You have to
because they're push fit, which it's kind of it. I'm hoping that's not how the full kit is when it releases, because right now, if you wanted to do an army of boys full new sculpt and you wanted to run Slugga Chop boys, every box only gets you 5 instead of the minimum unit size of 10, which is kind of rough for new players. For me, I don't mind it because I already have like 600 boys, so sprinkling a few new sculpts in is fine. I'm not going to have, I can run whatever I want to run. So for the old collectors, I think, we might pick them up just because it's a cool new sculpt, new things to throw in the mix. But if you were new getting into orcs, that might be a bit a bigger issue.
Yeah, that's a little. I mean, like I don't like to be. I've always liked having options, right? I like all the extra bits. I like being able to pick and choose how I want to arm myself.
I think you're going to find the same problem when you get those Beast Snagga boy boxes. Yeah. Because the stuff out of the Beast Snagga like big box was all like monopose.
Yeah,
it wasn't push fit, but it was very monopose. There wasn't a lot
I'm noticing the Squig Hog boys. I've only got 1 box, and I got the 5 other on order right now. Like, I'm going to have basically 6 of the exact same posed, model, and I guess I'm just going to have to accept it. But that's okay. They look gorgeous, so I don't mind so much.
Yeah.
Hey, Frontline Gaming also wants to announce our brand new Overgrown City mat is.
Wait! I'm getting a message here. It's that yet again they can't come up with just an even number to put something on sale. Is that right, Kicker?
That is
breaking
very
news.
Accurate. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
It's not 10% off. It's not 20% off. It's 21% off.
It's to celebrate Kicker's 21st birthday, everybody.
Who's buying me shots?
Not me. You're way too young to deal with that.
You're youngin'.
Yeah, right. No, I am not that young. So yeah, the Frontline Gaming Overgrown City mat is 21% off for the rest of this week. It's a very cool mat if you like kind of the post-apocalyptic zombie, I mean, it could be anything really, urban battlefield. But I like it because it's got a nice like shade of green to it. On that same note, moving along to not same note, just totally moving along. I'm reading my notes here.
Notes.
By the way, I'm
1 week off. Look at him. 1 week off. We can't let him have a week off again, guys.
I'm never taking a hurricane again. All right, guys. So GW has sent out an email regarding their New Orleans event, which is at the beginning of October, first weekend of October. It was an email saying that basically they're still planning on having the event. Things, of course, can change, but right now the New Orleans GW Roadshow, scheduled for the first week in October, is still happening. So if you've got a ticket, you should still plan on coming. If things change, I'm sure they'll tell us immediately, and of course, refund everyone. This is all because of the hurricane, right? New Orleans got hit hard with this hurricane. I live here in New Orleans. I just moved back home 2 days ago. Power's on at my house. I got lights, I got internet, but a lot of the city is still recovering. So,
I will
as
not
of
be
right now, though, it
surprised
does
or
look.
blame GW if they're just like, no can-dosville.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
But I hope that's
Hopefully,
not the
I'll
case.
blame them.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I really want to play some 40K. So,
Yeah.
so I really want the event to happen. And the swag is just amazing. So I want that to happen.
GW controls the weather. Did you not know that, Shelby?
What?
Yeah, that's how they make their sprues. Is they have
Jet
little
fuel can't melt still beams.
Well,
Sorry.
speaking about New Orleans, a lot of people have been emailing me, messaging me, sending carrier pigeons, asking about the New Orleans Open that Frontline Gaming is doing in December. Normally, registration would have happened a couple weeks ago, but everything's been pushed back a little bit. First, before the storm, we just had to schedule it back. But then we had a meeting with the venue management to discuss the layout because we're trying to add as many tickets as we can to the event. And then the storm hit. The entire Sheraton staff where we're at is basically evacuated, and they're still not in the office right now. So we can't determine how many 40K tickets we could sell. So we're waiting to release these tickets. Registration, though, will likely be going live probably in a week or two. If you are a season pass holder, check your email. You'll probably be getting an email within the next couple of days. The event will be happening 100% for sure, though. I mean, I live in the city. I just walked down the French Quarter right past our hotel. Everything's fine with the hotel. It's just that the staff is still evacuated, so they can't confirm our space, which means we can't confirm our ticket numbers. But yeah, so no doubt, Frontline Gaming New Orleans Open will be happening in 4 months, and you want to
Kicker,
go
do
to
we know what format that's going to be yet?
So, yes. Okay. I mean, I hope Reese doesn't mind because it hasn't been officially stated, but I'm going to say it right now. It will be a singles tournament. We've been going back and forth whether it's going to be a 40K.
I'm excited
teams.
for a singles event.
You're excited for singles?
Yeah.
In New Orleans, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be a New Orleans singles. We were thinking about doing a team event for a little while. We're going to do singles for a few reasons. One is because it's too close to our Las Vegas team tournament. We don't want to have 2 team events so close by, so we'd rather do one in February or maybe March. That's going to be a team event just to kind of space them out,
Sean, it sounds like for now, Sean Prosser asked if the date is going to change on I'm assuming Frontline Gaming's New Orleans tournament. And my assumption, Sean, given this information, is no. There are no plans for the date to change, just uncertainty about how many people they'll be able to release tickets for.
So the date is confirmed. The date's set in stone. We're not changing the date.
This is real important news from Sean. Texanana I can't even pronounce your name, man. Can you make the event pro-Tyranid? Yes, we have the powers because Games Workshop controls the weather and Kicker controls Games Workshop through his consumption of cereal.
Yes, exactly.
So he will get them to release a new Tyranid Codex by then.
Of course.
No guarantees on whether it's good.
Exactly.
I'm going to feel so bad if Tyranid Codex comes out and it's just still garbage.
Junk.
That's what happens when you rush the product, Sean. Just be patient.
But yes, the New Orleans Open, the Frontline Gaming New Orleans Open is the weekend of December 11th. It'll be a 3-day event, singles, 40K champ style event. You know and love it. There'll also be Age of Sigmar and likely 1 or 2 other events. Those events are still not determined.
MCP.
Yeah,
MCP. I was
going
to say.
Yeah. I really want to make MCP happen. But it might be Kill Team. It might be Legion. Legion's been really gaining a lot of hype. Yeah. So I don't know. We're still definitely 40K, definitely Age of Sigmar. Still trying to figure out the last one.
Those 2 are by far the most popular other minis games at our local store is Legion and MCP in addition to 40K and AOS. Yeah.
Well, actually, what do you see more, Shelby? Legion or MCP? I mean, if you
nowadays MCP, so Legion was more popular for a little while because we had an escalation league for Legion. MCP just by itself has exploded.
Wow.
It's been pretty crazy. I don't know why exactly. Just tons of people are just picking that stuff up because I guess it's so easy to learn. It's like one afternoon.
Wow. Is it 40K players playing MCP, or is it a totally different group of guys coming in just to pick up this new game?
It's both.
Oh wow.
Cool. It's 40K players being like, you mean I can paint 6 minis? And that's my team. Like it's such a small investment relative to 40K and it's not people who are giving up 40K to play MCP. It's people who are just like, oh yeah, I can pick this up in the meantime and play like an hour and a half or 2 hour game with some friends. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun to see.
Well, I want to see. I heard that you can like interact with the terrain in the
You
game.
can throw cars.
Yeah, like,
And you
I
can
love that.
throw your other characters. Like the Hulk can just throw Spider-Man, for example.
That's
It's
awesome.
pretty
All right.
great.
Sold.
For
Awesome.
sure. Sorry, I mean 40K is far superior, but
Yeah.
MCP is cool.
we can like multiple game systems. It's okay. Oh, guys, I wanted to announce that for the Las Vegas team tournament, we have got our judges figured out. Our head judge is going to be Adam Solis, one of the Frontline Gaming judges you know and love. Chris Morgan, another Frontline Gaming staff judge, will be coming to help be one of the judges for the team tournament, as well as a local named Jake. I have no idea who Jake is. Reese just told me that I need to get Jake a shirt because he's going to be one of our judges. So
not even his last name, just a guy
I
named
don't
Jake.
even have a last name.
Right.
But I'm sure he's a nice guy. And Jake, we can't wait to meet you. Thank you so much for helping put on the Las Vegas team tournament in a few weeks. And then, guys, last thing I did want to say, SoCal is still happening, moving along. Tickets are selling. We are at over 200 players for the 40K singles, the champs there. There's also a 40K friendly, an Age of Sigmar champs, an Age of Sigmar narrative, a doubles. MCP is there. Legion is there. X-Wing is there. So SoCal is going to be big. I've just signed up a few more vendors too. So there's going to be a few vendors there that are going to be really fun to get to hang out with.
When
so
is
yeah,
it one more time?
Vendors, what?
When is SoCal
Oh,
one more time?
SoCal is October 24th that weekend, the weekend before Halloween. So if you want, you can come in your costume and no one will make fun of you. Just, yeah.
I really don't think anyone at a 40K event is going to judge costumes.
Yeah.
just to be clear.
I mean, like, I think they would. I walked around in a Squirtle costume at Dragon Con, and like, I don't think I could wear that at a 40K event, and people will be like, yeah, that's fine.
I mean,
Shelby?
Yeah.
I've seen worse.
I mean, should cosplaying be
I'm going to
40K?
just say one word, one name, Shelby, and you will know exactly what worse is.
Oh, come on, Richard. I know you said you were going, like,
oh my God. So
what's worse than that, Shelby? Just remember Cody Salts.
Okay, but that was glorious in its own way. And like, you know it. This isn't glorious. This is, sorry, for everybody who's listening, Richard has deigned it important enough to show you a picture of my squad, all of us in our Squirtle.
And
laughing.
now he's cackling maniacally in the background, and no one else can hear him but us.
I'm just surprised you all went to Squirtles. Like, why didn't you just like try to diversify your...
I'm
Squirtle
sorry.
Squad is a thing from the show.
Squirtle Squad, sir.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
It's
sorry.
a thing from the show. I
apologize.
Yeah,
I'm it's not even a Pikachu. I am sorry for my ignorance of my Pokemon ignorance. I apologize.
Squirtles.
We're derailed pretty hard here, folks. So anyway, SoCal, get your tickets.
Get your tickets.
Shelby, take us into the FLGN news.
Thank you, Seth, for moving us along.
And the pain.
All right, cool. My bad. Love being awkward. You guys are great. So shows our own network stuff, right? So a few things exciting for y'all to tune into. Number one, 40K Game Changers with Steve Joel. I have gushed about him previously. The delightful radio host that he is happens to have a very soothing, lovely voice for you to go listen to. The most recent episode features Paul Murphy, our own Paul. I don't want to say our own Paul Murphy because Paul is just sort of like gracing us with his presence on one of our shows. He's got plenty of other credentials beyond like hanging out with us on the Thursday show. But it's a great episode.
The greatest thing that he's ever done. Just so we're clear.
Yeah, obviously it's by far his biggest credit. But yeah, so it's Steve Joel talking about stuff with Paul. I'm assuming maybe his record with 40K's experience with some of the more awesome 40K things that he's run and done.
Shelby, just admit you listened to it, but you didn't understand the content because Steve's voice was just so soothing.
It's true. I went to sleep. I'm kidding. No, I just haven't. I just caught myself before I almost cursed again. And I always get distracted in my brain whenever I don't let myself curse. It throws me off real bad. Anyway, speaking of Paul Murphy, you guys should tune into last week's episode of the Thursday show. There were a few GTs last weekend. If you wanted to hear a breakdown of some of the lists and stuff that were being brought to those, you should have a listen. But apparently Paul wasn't on it because he too ran off to Dragon Con. Didn't know that, or else I would have tried to find him and say hello. So he is back this week, though. Before I move on to that, be sure to also check out the Grim After Dark. Airs every Tuesday. I don't know what they did yesterday, but I'm sure it was hilarious.
Shelby, you're going to be very upset with yourself for not having watched that episode.
Wait,
was it the one with Marshall Peterson?
No, it was the one with Thomas Bird.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, Thomas on.
Nobody told me, guys.
No, John sent us the list of everyone he's interviewing in what week.
Okay. I don't pay attention.
You heard it here first.
Everyone,
Shelby does not pay attention to John Quinnell.
What did we call me in the opening credits? The most scatterbrained? Yes, thank you. Well, now I'm definitely going to tune into yesterday because Thomas Bird is a effing delight. So you should watch them talk to each other. Huh?
I knew you were going to call him a delight.
He's so great. He's just such a classy dude. He's also, I bet they can't fit him in the camera frame because he's like 6'6". So he's just so tall. Anywhooser, so upcoming, you guys, a couple of things. Number one, turns out Frontline Gaming Network is going to be co-streaming the first ITC Super Major in, I guess, Western Europe. I'm not sure if that's entirely correct, but it's a big deal because it's the Alliance Open in Jaarbeurs, Utrecht. In the Netherlands.
Yeah, I was like, come on, Shelby, you got this.
I mean, I would name my child that. That's a great name. Jaarbeurs.
I knew about Utrecht because I know a bunch of universities or people from a university there. So that's about all
I'm assuming this is just like a small subject of a sub area of Utrecht. But it's a super major, should be absolutely massive. So along those lines, I'm certain that Thursday show is going to bring you some nice coverage on that, as well as a GT that has popped up in New York that I'll tell you guys a bit more about in a second. But definitely watch those streams if you're interested in watching some Western European nationals, and probably I'm assuming some American players are going to be headed that way as well, considering it's a super major, but should be really interesting. I am intrigued to see what sort of
Shelby,
folks.
No US people can go to the EU right now.
Oh, right. That was really tacky of me.
Yeah, no, we can't go there legally. So if someone does show up there from the US, they are really taking competitive 40K a little too far, probably.
I mean, you got to get your ITC points, guys.
Okay, so moving on then, now that I've made a very classless mistake.
Tabletop talk.
Yes, but before we move on, any questions about network shows? Anything I missed?
No.
All right, so just to take a minute, I know, please don't shoot me. A few weeks ago, we talked about mental health in 40K, and I talked about generally how freaking awesome this hobby has been for a lot of people, not just like 40K in particular, but Games Workshop games have just provided a lot of people with an outlet for creativity or with distracting themselves or whatever the case may be. I want to highlight another positive aspect of 40K, or at least the 40K community, and that is just how dang charitable it can be sometimes. Like, you guys have heard about a few charities that have been going on over the past month or so, not the least of which was Charity Hammer, that raised more than $40,000 in a weekend. But in the wake of Hurricane Ida, so I mentioned a GT that was going on in New York. Some folks in New York just came up with a GT in about 2 weeks. Right? Pulled this thing together. It was a bunch of, I think you said the crew from Syracuse, right?
Yeah, so it's actually Brian Horton, his crew. So this was the Atlantic City Open crew that judged the 40K champs there. They just reached out and said, hey, let's do this for New Orleans. And so it's the guys from Du Bois GT up in Syracuse, New York, and they're like, let's make this GT an organization, an event to support New Orleans as much as we can. I mean, Shelby, did you hear that they got like sponsors and everything for this thing?
Yeah, so I mean, so they got sponsors by GW themselves. So GW is like, hey, this is pretty cool that you guys threw this together in no time at all. So we're going to sponsor you. Scale 75, Cromlech, Tectonic Studios are all sponsoring it, and
Frontline
proceeds
Gaming.
are going. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, us too. Um, and then all of the proceeds are going to the Red Cross and Imagine Waterworks, which is specifically a New Orleans charity. Do you know more about that, Kicker?
Yeah, so I mean, Red Cross is always, everyone knows the Red Cross. They're great. The waterworks is obviously people don't realize that it's hard to get water here right now during the storm.
Yeah.
Fresh water. A lot of
Potable water. Yeah.
There's boil water advisories and whatnot. This organization provides water as well as power. Cell phone charging stations, like to charge your phone and all that, which is amazing. Yeah, like we don't realize how valuable and important our phone is till suddenly you can't charge it, and you're like, oh, I can't do anything. So they're providing little stations to recharge cell phones and whatnot.
Also, I realized that I misspoke. So this is a tournament that's not going to happen this upcoming weekend. My bad. This is actually going to happen the same weekend as the New Orleans Open, being hosted by GW. So if you happen to find yourself in the Northeast area, you're not coming down from New Orleans, but you still want to have a great time, go to this GT, support an awesome cause, helping New Orleans kind of get back up on its feet. Still, planning a GT only about a month and a half in advance is no small feat, especially whenever you're trying to make it a big deal with a lot of sponsors in a big charity event. So good on you guys. Thank you. That's awesome. Really, I just bring this up because I feel like every time I lose my faith in humanity and occasionally my faith in 40K, people just do something really amazing to pull me back and remind me that it turns out people are pretty cool, especially whenever we need them the most. It's awesome because like in addition to this GT coming together, a few weeks ago, a guy in our local gaming community, he just got into AOS. He started a couple months ago. He decided to go all in on the new Oryx. He spent like $600 or $700 getting his stuff together. He was so excited. And then he got robbed at gunpoint in his neighborhood had his entire car stolen, which had all of his stuff in it, including his entire army. And immediately, like, he messaged us because he was going to be in the escalation league for AOS. And he said, I'm going to have to drop. I don't have an army anymore because here's what's happened. And immediately a dozen of our local players were like, absolutely not. Like, if you don't want to play because you're stressed out and upset, that's one thing. But don't stop playing if you think for a second that we're not going to make sure that you have something to play with. So a dozen people were like, why don't you take my half of the Dominion box? Or why don't I donate this to you or this to you? I'll help you paint this and get this started up again. And within a week, he had a new army. They eventually found his car with nothing in it and in a hit and run. But he at least has an army thanks to our community being like, no, you're going to play as long as you want to. And I think he needed that. He desperately needed, especially in that time, something to do and somewhere to be that was comfortable. So anyways, just me wanting to wax poetic for a second about how awesome people can be, particularly in the 40K community, whenever you find that group that you just get really close to. I love you guys.
Yeah, it's so sweet. I mean, I'm constantly floored with how many, charity focused events there are. There's the War Games for Warriors event that's pretty popular, but just like you said, on a local community scale, like, it's amazing how friendly and giving people are that are in this hobby. And now it's like most of my friends are from this hobby. Like, it's just, you can't help but form family style relationships with these players here. Yeah, we're pretty fortunate, guys, to have such a good community.
Yeah, so while we're waiting on, or while Seth is going over his competitive stuff in just a minute, I would love to hear about, and if the chat is completely crickets on this one, that's okay, but I would love to hear about any particularly positive experiences within your own community that you guys have had, if you feel like sharing. If not, that's totally cool. Just figured I'd ask.
I like how there was the subtle implication that I have no soul and therefore have no feelings. So this emotional topic was just like beyond me. You were like, whatever. He's not going to talk about it. He's going to talk about competitive shit. I actually was getting info to plug another charity event because there is one coming up this weekend, 40 hours of 40K.
Yes.
Where they're streaming 40 hours of 40K. It's a UK based group with donations to support, or donations for a raffle, but the donations go to support a men's mental health charity. So
Awesome. I was just saying that while you were doing something else, they can talk, but you should also contribute, Seth.
I did. I contributed.
There you go.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
I feel accomplished.
Excellent.
Well, Seth, why don't you tell us what's happening in the competitive world?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, there
true.
is stuff. So I want you guys to take a minute, close your eyes, everyone, and drift back to late May, early June, and remind yourself that Drukhari had a 70% win rate. Guess what Drukhari have again?
Is it a 90% win rate?
It's a 70% win rate.
Oh,
Actually,
Right,
after
so
this
not that
weekend,
bad, not that bad.
after this weekend, it was close to 75%. It
Oh,
was
ouch.
God.
It seems that Drukhari has just continued to rise, and they just won't go away. Those dirty elves. Their win rate has been increasing since the nerf to AdMech, so AdMech seems to be really the thing that was holding them down. And the question I have for you is, what can men do against such reckless hate?
Or women.
Or women?
I mean, did their list really change at all? Have you checked out
It
whether or not?
updated a little bit. They still take that one succubus because she's still really good with competitive edge, and they still take they don't take liquefier racks, but they have a different gun on what is it? It's not Grotesque. Kronos is then they have like some Spirit Leech gun, which is the same thing as what a liquefier did. So it's still strong, still real strong. So yeah.
I mean, there's a chance that, Grey Knights, Thousand Suns could help maybe,
No,
adjust. No, you don't think
you're
so?
missing.
Nothing.
You're missing the solution.
Yeah. Okay. What's the solution? Tell us.
Orcs.
With their armies.
Stop
Oh,
that.
yeah. Okay. That's much less violent.
Yes. But speaking of evil Drukhari, I wanted to take a minute today to do a little bit of a player profile on a new name that you may not have heard of. This is Anthony Vanilla. I actually had the pleasure of meeting and playing Anthony at ACO. He did not look that dapper when he was at ACO. That looks a bit closer to what Anthony looked like. He recently just won the Goonhammer GT, which was a pretty stacked list of players, so great job. But that win got him now into the top 5 of the ITC. And you might think it takes a while to get to the top 5 of the ITC. Well, good old Anthony here had never played a game of 40K before March 2022.
What?
I mean,
so
technically it only
this
takes
year?
a year.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like a year and a half, and in the middle of a pandemic where you probably couldn't play that much in person anyway. He's from the kind of the Northeast, the New York, New Jersey area. So he kicks around with those crews a lot. I talked to, he was at Charity Hammer. I played him twice at Charity Hammer and we hung out a lot. So I've been talking with him, and he was an amateur MMA fighter. So don't bad talk him too much at the table because he'll kick your ass. He's practiced Muay Thai, and he did play Hearthstone and WoW competitively, but he's never really had the amount of success he's had in 40K. So he did have a competitive mindset before he came in here. I asked him what his goals were for this season. He wants to be top Drukhari. He's been playing them pretty much for since the Codex came out. He was playing Blood Angels before that. Right. And he also kind of
went that you said 2022 earlier.
Yeah, he's from the future.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's why he can win, chat. That's the real competitive edge. Look, guys, I'm sorry. I can't have the AC on while we do this because it moves my green screen. So the longer the show goes, the hotter I get and the more fried my brain becomes. And they put my segment at the end of the show, so I'm mostly fried by the time we get here. But anyway, his goal is to stay in the top 5 for the rest of the season. And then eventually he wants to win it all. But he had a little quote at the end that I wanted to read for you guys. He said, "Really, though, I approach each event excited for the lessons I'll learn and the people I'll meet. And I think that approach is the healthiest way to come to the table."
Oh.
Tell him to stop being so reasonable and nice.
Nice. Yes.
Gosh,
Yeah.
jeez.
What?
So there you go, Anthony. There's your shout out. Congrats, bud, on the win. Let's get into those ITC recaps. In the competitive track, again, number 5 is Anthony hopping into the top 5. We got Mark Hurdle at number 4, number 3, Brad Chester, and number 2, Sean Naden. And still, number 1, the Boy King himself, John Lennon. And I'm so glad that nickname has stuck.
Me too.
Moving on to the 40K hobby track. Not a lot of motion here. Noah Bedome is in at number 5. Nicholas Wenker at number 4. Scott Boucher at number 3. JT Steger at number 2. And Lee Harris still holding strong at number 1. AOS competitive track. Also not a ton of movement here. We've got Jack Ballard in 5th. Ramon Sliva. I'm going to change it up this week and read the L correctly, maybe. Yeah, maybe. At number 4. Noe Aquino at number 3. I'm just changing all the pronunciations.
Oh my gosh, he's a
James
crazy
O'Brien at 2 and Anthony Trentinelli at number 1. Hobby track seems a little bit wonky to me because I think we actually had guys that were at 5 scores and now we don't. So we'll see what happens there. But number 1 is Noe Aquino. Number 2, Nick Garcia. Number 3, Christopher Hernandez. Number 4, Christopher Daughtry. And number 5, Ramon Sliva.
That's how it says. That's what it's spelled like in the ITC rankings. So, like,
yeah, that's what I'm going with.
do you know who Anthony knocked out of the top 5?
Ooh, yeah, that's something we should know.
That is a good question. I think he just knocked. No, it was the week before that Colin McDade dropped out of the top 5. You know, Rich could probably go back in his slideshow and show us, but he's not going to. He's just going to let us dangle.
Poor guy. let him chill. Let our producer chill.
So that's that. I can't tell you who he knocked out. But there we go. Okay. He knocked out Charlie Andre. Oh, Charlie. Ooh. Yeah. Charlie recently just hopped in there as well. I think he was mostly Charlie. I can't remember. Was he running Dark Angels? No, he wasn't. He was running something else.
Well, let's see if Anthony can stick around for the remainder of the year. He said, that's his goal.
I mean, he's pretty good. He's beaten me soundly 3 times now. Not like a little bit. Like
with those Drukari.
He took me to the woodshed, folks. Okay, like it was a bit rough. All right, we did not have any listener questions this week, so this is your turn, chat. Get in there. Get some questions to us. Otherwise, I'm going to have to come up with my filler topic, which might not be entertaining to you. Who knows?
I'm guilty. I forgot to post the questionnaire thing on the community page.
Yeah, it's not so much that we don't have questions. It's more that we didn't ask for new
my
ones.
bad, guys.
So my filler topic, while chat decides what questions they want to ask, ties into Shelby's topic of support a 40K group. So I clearly I am overweight. If you're looking at the video, you can see Seth has these. But I've been struggling with my weight, and I've been trying to motivate myself to work out more, to exercise, and that's kind of it's on again, off again with me. And so there's a 40K page actually called Fit 40K. I believe Kicker's on there frequently posting about his obscene amounts of whatever CrossFit he did that day. But regardless of if you're a kicker that is like, I did 17 hours of CrossFit in 3 hours and scientists want to know how I broke the time-space barrier, or you're a Seth that's like, I worked out for 40 minutes today and I didn't die. It's a super positive group. So I want to try to be a bit more responsible about my diet and my exercise. So I'm trying to talk about it publicly to make myself accountable. But that group never shames you when you're like, hey man, I fell off the wagon. They're like, it's okay, get back up here, man. It's no problem. So that was a positive group, and that's what I'm working on. Maybe Kicker can make me CrossFit while we're in New Orleans, and I'll die at some event.
Well, we'll do a lap around the French Quarter, man. It'll be fun. We'll speed walk it. It'll be fun.
It's like if you can see me run. If you time out, 40K folks. If you ever see me running, you better fucking follow me. Sorry, I swore there because there's a problem. There's a big problem if I'm running. Okay.
You got it. I'll follow you, buddy.
Yeah, like if you see me running, do not go in the other direction because it is not going to be a problem. Yeah, my wife just popped in and was like, seconded. If you see him running, you follow.
Kara Quinn says, just go live in New Orleans. It'll just melt.
I've spent a lot of time in New Orleans for various things, but yeah, there was definitely like one trip that I was in New Orleans was like, I did not pack enough underwear for this trip. I've sweated through 3 pairs today.
Dude, no, that's a true story though. Like man, I have to change my shirt 3 or 4 times a day. Now I'm Hungarian, so I sweat like an obnoxious amount, like more than most people. But it's just a nasty, sweaty, humid city where you have to change your shirt, your underwear at least 3 or 4 times a day. Sometimes 5 times. Just deal with it.
Like there's normal packing, and then there's like I'm going to New Orleans packing, where you're like, I'm gonna need some extra clothes.
Dude, my kid, like his diaper. I always think he peed his diaper. No, it's just sweat. Like he's just sweating through his own diaper.
Poor child.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Chat, save us with some questions. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about baby
You got
butt
one
sweat.
from Kelsey. Kelsey says, are you going to make more weapons?
Oh.
Yeah, so the next weapon I think I'm actually going to work on locally, our little gaming group is me and Shelby, and then our friend Connor. And Connor is really into Thousand Suns right now, so I think I'm going to try to make him a Kopesh. We talked about it the other night. He was over playing a game, and he wanted a sorcerer's staff, and then I looked at that, and I was like, that is a little beyond my skill right now. Maybe one day I can get that good, but right now that's a little more than I think I can tackle and do justice to. So I think I'm going to try to make him a Kopesh.
Kopesh would be dope. That's
Okay,
like
okay,
Egyptian
just
style
put this out there.
sword,
So
right?
We don't do this at like the Frontline gaming events necessarily yet, maybe, but I know like long war doubles. That's at the LVO.
Yep.
They really give you points for all sorts of stuff at the event there. So that's like the your army composition, whatever. Do you think that there should be some sort of like score at some of our events, maybe more fun events, if you are dressed to the part, or do you think that's just totally stupid? I don't know.
Are
I'm
you
just
talking
asking.
about cosplay bonuses?
Kind of, yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, I think there's certainly a place for that. Like having as a side competition, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Costume
Ooh, a
contest.
side competition.
Yeah, just like
awesome.
it doesn't have to affect your 40K game, because the absolute worst is you don't want to be like, well, I didn't dress in costume, so I didn't but having a side thing that would be totally cool, because
I love that.
I mean, like what was it? Time is very fluid lately, so I can't remember the last time we had a big Warzone Atlanta, but there was a competition in the Long Wars doubles that they did there for best display board, and someone made a display board out of a cake with a crashed like vulture in the middle of it. And so you could see that if you went up to look at their display board, they gave you a piece of cake. Like it was just like, because Long War Doubles is like, you have to have a cool display board and a gift. And they're like, what if we did both in the same thing?
Excuse me,
I mean,
sorry.
I'm all for
people
like
get
these
into
little
that kind of
side
stuff.
contest. I love this,
Yeah.
like a little costume contest on the side. I think that would be awesome. I mean, like, I don't know. All right,
Let's
cool.
go. That sounds
So
awesome.
Kelsey also asked, next tournament you're going to, and how are you hoping to do? Call your shots right now. Putting a gun to your head.
Nope, that's violent. Definitely the GW Open in New Orleans. That is like literally brain melting, Seth. Like you could miss with the bolter gun because it's basically like a stormtrooper blaster, but this guy
Hey, don't bash the storm.
I'm not, it's fine. But
Well,
so
don't
anyways,
worry. Next week you'll have the gun and you can shoot me.
yes. So the GW Open, and honestly, I just want to exist. Maybe win like a game. That's the goal.
Cool. I mean, definitely the next for me is the New Orleans GW event. I mean, I've been saving up for this. I'm happy if I just break even, I mean, obviously I'd like to have a winning record, but I'm not competitive enough right now to really go in there with unrealistic goals. If I can win more games than I lose, I'm happy. And I can call it a night. What about you, Seth? Come on, what's your goals? You're the competitive one here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to go to an RTT 2 or 3 weeks. At local game store Moxie's. But then the next big one is, they're doing an RTT.
What?
Yeah. Did you want to go?
Maybe.
I think there's still tickets. But anyway, I think for the New Orleans GT for GW is the next big one I'm going to. And I'm going to call my shot, folks. I'm winning that thing.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
taking it down. The Boy King, I'm coming for you. Because he doesn't think orcs are good.
Aw, that's a bit of a bummer.
You put him in his place.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing is good if he's not playing it to him, I guess. But man,
we got another one. What current models are you working on? Kicker.
Squig Hog boys, love them, and I like them because it's like really 3 models in one, right? You have the mount, you have the orc, and then you have the little grot on the back. So I'm like, this is fun. This is a lot. What about you, Shelby? Yeah, what are you on?
I'm gonna be working on the Lord of Change until the day I die.
Until it changes.
Yes. Oh my god. And Seth, which one of your 1,000 orcs are you working on right now?
On the paint bench right now is a knob on Smash a Squig, 3 Stormboy knobs, 2 Grot Mega Tanks, a Kopesh. I never stop working. There's always something.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I forgot that you're like actually productive. So KR Quinn asks our thoughts on AOS 3. Is it finally worth playing as an old Warhammer fantasy player? I can't say from experience because I decided not to partake in our AOS escalation league, so I haven't had a reason to play like I wanted to, but I've heard great things. I've heard that it's a well-balanced, enjoyable game, mostly melee focused. But I mean, I've heard it's fun. I can tell you secondhand that it was a good time. Can you stop pointing a gun at me, sir? Please.
I mean, it's literally my job to try and like keep tabs on like what people think about the new game systems, the updates and stuff, because I want to know what we should invest our space at, space in. And I've been asking all like the diehard, Age of Sigmar players what they think, and everyone seems to like it a lot. I mean, if you were thinking about trying Age of Sigmar, I think now is the time to go for it. Everyone's still getting into the new edition, and all the people that are previously played the old edition that are not playing this edition seem to like it that much more. So I think now is the time to jump into Age of Sigmar if it's something you were thinking about. I definitely think it's a step in the right direction, but personally, I love 40K. I'm sticking with it.
I think just to kind of piggyback off that one more time, I've heard great things about the system, but I've also heard kind of mixed feelings about how you can combine armies. Like, so the whole chaos, order, destruction thing doesn't make as much sense anymore. It's not as intuitive. So just how you can use what factions you have, from what I understand, is a little bit murky. And that's kind of the downside of AOS, is that there's not like clear cut, what can you take, what can't you take, what do you keep, and that sort of thing. But that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, I think that's a good spot to call it. We've been going on for a little over 45 minutes tonight. So, normal length for our 30-minute show. Because that's what we do here, folks. We aim short and then we give you a little extra.
Hey-oh, that's what she said. I can't
All right. So don't forget, are there SoCal tickets still left, Kicker?
Yes, there are still SoCal tickets.
So if you really want to give that the end of October, you got that itch coming, hop on that SoCal. It'll be a great time. Don't forget to check out the FLGN tomorrow, the Thursday show, and then we're going to be co-streaming the Alliance Open this weekend. So tune in there. I know what I'm going to be watching when I'm not at work. And don't forget to celebrate your local Squirtle Squad.
Celebrate your local Squirtle Squad.
Can you guess? Can you tell which one I am?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
You're the middle one.
Nope.
In the back row.
Mm-mm.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen those sunglasses of yours.
I mean, I just got them for the costume.
Okay, well, that would explain that.
How tall do you think I am? That should help.
Force perspective, Shelby. Force perspective.
Okay. Well, I'm the one, I guess, in here to the right. I am homie to the right that has my my deuces up.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Final thoughts for the night, Shelby. Kicker.
I'm excited to see that bolt pistol in the flesh. Thank you so much, Seth.
Yes, thank you. And thank you guys for tuning in and asking us questions. I would be so bored if you guys didn't ask stuff. Just kidding. Love y'all.
Wow. We're just boring. Okay. I'm Seth the Boring. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Signals from the Frontline. Have a great week.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, guys.
It was great to see you. Bye.